Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing Dejavu from HackMyVm. This is a box started about easy. And yeah, let's get on to the video. So I'm going to start by splitting my terminal stream. So I'm putting a and discover minus r to 0.0.1/24/IT0. Doing this, we're going to be the box 10.0.0.7. So I'll do Control Shift Z, so we'll do MM scan. So I'll do MM minus C for default scripts, minus Z for numeration. We'll scan all ports on the IP. Doing this, I'll do minus V verbose. Look at the ports. We do port 22 open for SSH and also port 8 open for HTTP. So I'm going to visiting port 80. Here we do get the Apache 2 default page. So I'm going to control the source code. And doesn't seem like we're doing anything. So I'm about doing some numeration, running gate GoBuster. So do Control Shift Z. So we're running GoBuster to remote -u into the IP address. We'll do -w for /user share world list buster directory. List with the medium.txt. We'll do extensions of HTML, TXT, and also PHP. Looking back at the ports, we do have port 22 open for SSH. This is a Ubuntu server. Port 8 open for HTTP. This is running Apache. And we just do get the Apache default page, right? As it does work. Looking back at the GoBuster, we do have a index.html and also info.php. So I'm start visiting info.php. Here we do get the PHP version of 7.4.3. I'm going to control use the source code. And we do get a secret directory here as a comment. So I'm start visiting secret. Look at this. We do have 2 static files here, a directory for files, and also a upload.php. So I'm going to control use the source code. Here we do get a method for post and also an action for upload. Also to get the type for submit, so it is submitting to the server as a post request. We can also check where the location is under here by going to, if we go to info.php, if we're going to var www.html, you do see that this is located under this directory here, which we do have info.php, which is the main root directory or document root directory, which is just this. Doing this, I'm gonna search up like GitHub PHP ref shell. Let's go to GitHub. I don't know why it said create, but PHP ref shell. We do have this right here. We can just go to raw data, copy this. I'm just gonna get this. I'm moving on to PHP ref shell.php. I'm just gonna take off all this since we don't need any of this. Doing this, I'm gonna be changing the IP to 10.0.069. 69 on port 9001. So I'm going to quit. Now we can count our PHP ref shell. I'm also going to just head this out. And we do have our IP address and also our port. So doing this, I'm just going to go to browse, go to other locations, go to backup, go to HackMyVm, go to Dejavu. I'm going to upload this, and it just seems like the extension is not allowed. So I'm going to start by saying this within burp. So I'm just going to go to proxy. I'm sorry, so you can start by like trying like a GIF 89 header, or maybe start by changing the extension type. So I'm just going to go to edit 10.0.069. I'm just going to go to browse, PHP ref shell.php, go to upload this, send this to repeater, send that, and it does seem like the extension is not allowed, right? So doing this, there's many ways we can start by changing extension type. We just go to PHP 5 or PHP 4. Or the most common one which is PHP or PHTML, which is the most common one now we can bypass with. You do see that it now has been uploaded. I'm just going to be changing this to test.html. We did see that we did have another directory as, I believe it was, let's see, turn off proxy. We did have another directory as files. We did name it as test.phtml. So I'm just do test.phtml. It does seem like we do get a connection refused. So I'll do all red and I have my VP on 9001. Do Control R to refresh it. It does seem like we do get a connect from 10.0.0.7, but the connection is not established. So do Control R and it just does lose the connection. The reason for this is because we do have if we do check, I believe it was info. Was it info? It was info.php. If we go to, let's go to functions. if we go to disable functions, which is right here, you do see that this is all disabled. So we do have the most common ones like system, exec, pass-through shell, or pass-through, shell exec, proc. I believe there's even pop-in. Yeah, we do a pop-in to execute commands. That's even disabled. So we do need to bypass this, right? So I'm just going to search up, I'll just search up like GitHub, Chinkro, see if we do have anything in there, which is going to allow us to bypass those functions. So here we do have the syntax here, which we can specify the 64-bit input for rev.sh. The rev.sh is going to be a reverse shell, which can be in bash. We could just put a bash reverse shell in there. We also do have a champ or chan.php, which is going to be outputted. And for the path, we can specify this as lar html, which should be the document root, the context document root, which is this directory. So I'm just going to git clone this repository. We'll do Control-Shift-Z. We'll just git clone this repository. For Crinko or Chinkro, we have Python 2. I'm just going to be copying the syntax here. So we do Python 2 for Chinkro.py. We do have the arc for 64, or the arch for 64, the input for rev.sh. Doing this, I'm just going to echo this command out, since right now we don't need it right now, since we do need to create a rev.sh. So I'm just going to be into, we'll just be into rev.sh. I'm just going to we'll go to pentest monkey. I'm just going to copy this reverse shell. In here, we can just go into our interactive mode. We'll do bash, we'll do -c. I'll specify my IP address as 10.0.0.069 on port 9001. The reason for this, I just do bash -c so we can execute a command, which could be our bash reverse shell. We counter rev.sh. You do see that I do have bash -c to execute the command, the bash command, which is going to be a reverse shell on my IP address on 9001. So now we did have, I'm going to take off this echo. We did have this for Python 2, I believe, for Chinkro.py. For the input, we do have rev.sh. For the output, I'm just going to change this to xu.php. For the path, we do need to change this. So we didn't know that we did have this under var.html. Make sure you do specify the / since we did have, this is a directory, since we do have the info.php, which means this is the file. This means that this is the end of that directory, right? So we do have var.html on how to eliminate internet security threats, which you do have there. So we can press enter on that. Now we do have our xq.php. So let's see if we can more into this xq.php, see what this is. So here I just see like this beginning of an L file, which we do have a hook, which is encoded in base 64. Looking at this, we do have the interpreter. We could base 64 encode this. We do have the path for var.html for the document root. It is using a function for base 64 decode, and which is this hook that we did have for the variable hook. So we do have hook. It's going to base 64 decode. We also do have the AC PID socket, which is going to be put under this var.html. And we also do have the chinkro.so. So doing this, we didn't know to bypass we did bypass it using PHTML. So we need to move this xq.php to xq.phtml. So now we do have our xq.phtml. So I'm just going to go to browse. We'll go to Chinkro. We did have the xq.phtml. Upload this. Copy this. We can go to, was it files? xq.phtml. So I'm started by listener here. So I'll do all around. Make HackMyVm MVP on 8001. We can go to do Control-R. We do ID. And now we're in our dum data. So I'm clearing my terminals here. I'm going to start by exporting my term is equal to xterm. I'm going to start running a sudo mycel. So here we do have, this seems like we can run a user sbin tcp dump. Doing this, I'm going to start by getting, well, let's first go into home and do some enumeration under Was it Robert? No, we do have user as Robert. Just to confirm, also do /etc password for Rob. Working grep for Rob. You do see that we do have it on Robert, and we do have his home /Robert. We do have an auth.sh. Cat this out. Doesn't seem like we can cat this auth.sh, so I'm gonna start by spawning a. I'm just gonna get the HTTP for 10.0.069 and port 8081. We'll get this PSPY64. So I believe I do have this under my. So we can see into documents, privilege escalation, lin piece. Gather PSPY64. So do Python 3 -m http.server and port 8081. If we do have PSPY64, I already do have it here. So I'll do chmod +x for PSPY64. I'm just gonna chmod +x for PSPY64, run this PSPY64. So it does seem like there's some type of auth that we need to do, since there's an auth.sh. So maybe we can intercept this within, see if this is a cron job, right? If this is a cron job, that means we can run TCP dump as sudo. So I'm just gonna do like all wrap, and then HackMyVm on 9001. We'll do ID, run a sudo -l. I'll do Control L instead of exploiting the term. Let's do sudo -l. So doing this, I'm gonna run sudo -u, run this as Robert for user sbin TCP dump. So looking at the cron job, let's see if what we have under here. So here we do have a FTP and local. It is running a bin sh against home Robert auth.sh, and it is indeed SFTPD or VSFTPD. So basically this is going to be for port 21, which is going to be for FTP. So doing this, we can run a user sbin TCP dump. So I'll do Control L. So we do have user, we're going to run a sudo -u for Robert user sbin TCP dump. We'll do port 21, which we would do want to filter out for port 21, which can be for traffic. We'll do -i. We'll specify the interface. We'll do -i for the interface, which is going to be for LO. You can also run like an IP config or IP adder if IP config is not installed. We'll do -a. Doing this, we can just intercept the traffic that's going to be from the cron job. So we'll just wait for this auth.sh to run, which is going to be run a sh against auth.sh. Once it does run, we should see the traffic within here and see if we can get some credentials. So we did see that we did have a bin sh for home Robert auth.sh. It did intercept the traffic here, which we do have. It does show login successful and also a pass for this. So I'm just going to copy this, put this into my text editor. And we also did have the pass. I'm just going to filter out the pass here, which we did have. Let's see if we can also find a username. So let's see if we can find a user as Robert, which we did have Robert. I'm also going to, I'm just going to exile this. We'll start my lister one more time. We'll do Control R. I'm going to switch users to Robert. We do ID, and now we're going to Robert. So we did have port 22 button for SSH. So I'm going to SSH into Robert at 10.0.0.7. We did have the password. We do ID. Now we're going to Robert. So this is making run a xf tool with root. So we'll do sudo -u for root for user local bin xf tool. I'm going to see if we can specify the version, which we do have for 12.23. Another way you can check that is start by using freecode to, I'm just going to more into xf tool. We do have the my version here for 12.23. So I'm going to be searching up for that version. We didn't know that we did have a 12.23. We'll do xf tool. We'll just search up like exploit. So it does seem like we can get code execution. This is run in Python 3. It is asking us for we can specify -c for the command. And we can run those as sudo, so we can execute commands as sudo, right? So I'm just going to wget this. I'm going to cd into temp. We'll wget this. We'll output this to, we'll just exploit.py. We'll do chmod +x for exploit.py. We'll do Python 3 for exploit.py. So doing this, we can specify -c for the command. So we'll do -c for ID. We do see that this was written to image JPG. So I'll do XF tool for image JPG. And you see that we do have the user ID as Robert. So what if we do run this as sudo? So we do sudo. You do see that this has changed. Now we do have the user ID for root. So doing this, instead of running a ID command, the easiest way we can do this is by running a password command. So run a sudo against this. We can change the password, the user's or root's password to pass. We do pass. Now we can switch users to root. We did enter pass. We do ID. Now we're into root, so we can see into root. ls, we can counter root.txt. Well, guys, pretty much in the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.